The woke is not going away, and it's not going away anytime soon. Disney made that abundantly clear when they announced that it is doubling down on wokeness and feminism with a gender-swapped Holes TV show. Wrote this up over at fandompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. I encourage you to head on over there, become a paid subscriber, help support our journalistic endeavors so we can continue to bring articles like this to you. It costs less than a Starbucks coffee, just $5 a month, and we are fully reader supported. So your support is what is allowing us to do this. Variety reported that the show, which is being written and executive produced by Alina Mankin and showrun and executive produced by Liz Fang, will see, quote, a teenage girl sent to a detention camp where the ruthless warden forces the campers to dig holes for a mysterious purpose. Mankin's writing credits include a show called Lodge 49, not familiar with that one, and Anne with an E, as well as 2 episodes of The Mindy Project, which that is a huge red flag, indicates that there will be probably crazy feminism in this show. The fact that they are gender swapping the main character already indicates that, in my opinion, the show is already dead on arrival, given the fact that they're having to do this gender swap version. As for Fang, she previously produced The Strain, The Haunting of Hill House, Lock and Key, Yellow Jackets, and Foundation. Alongside Mencken and Fang, Drew Goddard of Goddard Textiles will executive produce, as well as Sarah Esberg. This is what Goddard told Variety. He said, my mom's been a school teacher for her whole life, and as such, she served as a de facto book scout for Goddard Textiles. She always knows what the kids are into long before everyone else does. Holes was the first book she suggested to me. This was back in the late 90s, and she was positive it was going to be a phenomenon. It feels good to bring it full circle for Mrs. Goddard and her 6th grade class. He added, they've done a wonderful job capturing Louis Sakar's unique spirit, or Sachar, I'm not sure how to say his name. To say much more about what they have in store would spoil all the fun. This is obviously a lie. You can't be capturing the book's spirit when you are gender swapping the character, replacing a male with a female. That is the opposite of the spirit of the film, because as you can see here, there was a brotherhood that was formed, and obviously that was important. That is part of the spirit of the film. In fact, if you look at the actual official description of the book, which was published back in 1998, this is from Amazon. It says, Stanley Yelnats is under a curse that began with his no good, dirty, rotten, pig-stealing great-great-grandfather and has since followed generations of Yelnatses. Now Stanley has been unjustly sent to a boys' detention center, Camp Green Lake, where the boys build character by spending all day, every day, digging holes exactly 5 feet wide and 5 feet deep. There is no lake at Camp Green Lake, but there are an awful lot of holes. It doesn't take long for Stanley to realize there's more than character improvement going on at Camp Green Lake. The boys are digging holes because the warden is looking for something, but what could be buried under a dried up lake? Stanley tries to dig up the truth in this inventive and darkly humorous tale of crime and punishment and redemption. The book was originally adapted into a film by Disney back in 2003 with Sakar writing the screenplay and Andrew Davis directing. That's right, they got the guy who wrote the book to actually write the screenplay. Imagine that. Imagine that. They wouldn't do that at all anymore. In fact, they're not doing that at all anymore for this TV show. They've got a bunch of women running the show, and that's probably why they are gender swapping the main character. The original film starred Shia LaBeouf as Stanley and Sigourney Weaver as the warden. It also featured John Voight, Tim Blake Nelson, Cleo Thomas, Patricia Arquette, Dule Hill, Eartha Kitt, Jake M. Smith, Byron Cotton, Brendan Jefferson, Miguel Castro, Max Cash, Zane Holtz, and Noah Poletiak. The film grossed $71.2 million worldwide, with $67.3 million coming from the domestic box office. It had an estimated budget of $20 million. This is evidence that culture is not changing. The studio culture is not changing. These Hollywood studios are still pushing this stuff. They're still pushing their feminist agenda. They're still pushing their woke agenda. All of this stuff has been institutionalized. We have seen absolutely no movement on them removing these departments from their companies. We're seeing this from other sectors. We're seeing this at like McDonald's, Harley Davidson, Pepsi, I think. Might be wrong on that one. It might have been Coca-Cola. Can't remember. But we are seeing movement. Robbie Starbuck putting a lot of pressure, Tractor Supply, et cetera, on a lot of these companies. And we're seeing them change. But we are not seeing any of this change happening at Hollywood. I think the only change you can really point to is the fact that the Walt Disney Company decided to scrap some kind of transgender storyline from their upcoming Pixar animated TV show, which is going to be on Disney Plus. But again, here we are, as like about a month after that announcement, and we're seeing a gender-swapped Holes TV show. So they might be backing down on some of this stuff, and even just marginally, because who knows what else is in that show and whether or not they actually did indeed remove it. Again, that's the Disney company telling us they removed it. So we will see, I guess, when that actually does air. I hope no one watches it to begin with, because if you're already adding that, who even knows what other kinds of insanity is already in the show that they did not remove, right? And then obviously here they are doing this gender-swapped Holes television show. So again, this stuff isn't going away. The culture hasn't changed yet. These people are still pushing this stuff. These people are still trying to indoctrinate you. They're still trying to push the propaganda on to you. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.